All right, so Obi Wan dropped its season finale, and I gotta say, I was very stressed about watching it. And I say that because there was a certain Star Wars movie that came out in the year 2017 that kind of broke and divided the fandom, and that was The Last Jedi. Really hurt the Star Wars fandom, right? So here's this show, Obi Wan, that comes out, and it's getting a lot of racist attacking the main actress in the show, or one of the main actresses. And I was very worried that if this finale was bad, that it would possibly divide the fandom even more. Though honestly, I don't think that the fandom is divided as much as people say, just because a lot of the people that we're quote unquote calling fans, like the racist, are not fans, and we shouldn't be calling them fans nor be associating with these people. But I am glad to say that when I watched this episode, which I don't know where I heard this, I thought it was gonna be an hour and a half. It was not, but it was a great episode. Um, so we have this. I will say I didn't like the spoilers. I didn't like the Obi Wan and Vader fight and the scene where Moses Ingram's character, I keep forgetting her name, but she goes in there and she starts attacking young Luke and Uncle Owen and stuff. That shit felt weird to me, to be honest. And actually, I don't even like that someone else knew that Uncle Owen was around, because to me it felt like, all right, so she knew this but didn't, and like, I don't know. Luke seemed very shocked with what a lightsaber was and all these things in A New Hope. It's kind of weird that all this stuff happened and he didn't. Maybe when he hit his head or got injured at the end of this episode, maybe he just woke up like it didn't even remember it. So I don't know, but it was a weird thing to me personally. But I did really like Obi-Wan's and Vader's fight in the sense of the dialogue where, like, Vader's like, "You didn't kill Anakin, I did," and that was like, oh shit. Obi Wan, Obi Wan, learning from his failure, and him also saying, "You were not my failure." Vader saying, "I was not your failure." That mix of Hayden Christensen and Vader together, wow. And so that was just great. It was very powerful. It was a good episode overall, just for the way it wrapped things together. Though I feel like it was very weird that Qui-Gon showed up at the end of this episode as Force Ghost. Not that I was against that. I was like, actually, when I saw him, I was like, oh shit. But I'm also like, it feels like he should have returned in a more meaningful way, where like maybe gave Obi-Wan some words of encouragement. Like, how nice would it have been if when General Ghana is trying to get Obi-Wan in the beginning of the series to go get his daughter Leia, and Qui-Gon comes back as a Force ghost and is the one that encourages him. I don't know. It just felt weird. This is a show that did have some issues, but I think this finale made it worth it. While it's not a great show the whole way through, I think it balances out to being a great show because majority of the episodes are great. Episodes 1, 2, great. Episode 6, great. Episode 5, good. So, I think that there's only one bad episode in this show, and that's episode 4. And I feel like that's fine. This is a really good show. And if you're a Star Wars fan, you should be happy with it. It's not saying it's perfect and you can't have criticisms of it, but I think if we have a show like this that's literally giving the fans all they want and people still aren't happy, then we should just ignore these people at this point. I think it's frustrating, and I hate every time I make a Star Wars video now. I'm kind of talking about the fandom and reaction to it. I do the same thing with Marvel now too, but it's kind of like it's so intuitive to what we're dealing with. I mean, a lot of times I try to just ignore it, but then it gets so big and so loud, and sometimes I'll be looking up on YouTube just normal Star Wars content that's positive and not negative like this, and then you get recommended and you see things on accident. It's sad. it's sad the way that stuff is going on. But I loved this episode. I think we all should be okay with this show. And I'm glad we don't have a division like The Last Jedi to destroy the fandom all over again. Even though I don't think The Last Jedi is that bad of a movie compared to how many people hate it. But sure.